dear viewers. Welcome to English News Broadcast with me, Bersabet Taghla. Let's start today's major headlines. Material support provided to intellectually and developmentally disabled children in Agordes subzone. Awards handed to outstanding students in the southern region. UK Prime Minister resigns after losing party's support. And Japan's former Prime Minister shot during campaign event. On your local news, the National Association of Intellectual and Developmental Disability branch in Gashbarka region extended material support to 20 caretakers of children with intellectual and developmental disability in Agordet. The support included sanitation materials as well as other household materials that the children need in their daily activities, indicating that in Agordet subzone there are 322 families taking care of 443 children with intellectual and developmental disability, including 112 females. Mr. Kabedom Asmelash, head of the association branch in the subzone, said that the children are being provided free medical service as well as educational opportunity. According to reports, similar support has been extended to children with intellectual and developmental disability in the subzones of Barantu, Tessane, Golij, La'alaigash, and Shambuko. Mr. Mikael Amine, head of the social service in the subzone, pointing out that supporting children with intellectual and developmental disability is not to be left to particular organizations, called on the society to underpin contribution. Proceeding with your news, Dundon Award has been provided to 265 students in the southern region that scored above 3.0 GPA in the 2021 and 2022 National School Leaving Examination. The awardees included 13 from Ad-Da'iya subzone, 21 from Ad-Dukhwala subzone, 15 from Araza subzone, 88 from Dak Amhara subzone, 23 from Dubarwa subzone, 6 from Imna Haili subzone, 6 from Maimina subzone, 72 from Mandafara subzone, 6 from Saganati subzone, and 1 from Tsorona subzone. At the ceremony organized on 6 July in Mandafara, in cooperation with the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students and the Ministry of Education, Mr. Girmay Gabru, head of the union branch in the southern region, said that the Dundon Award is being provided for the first time and 62% of the awardees have been recipients of Ndamaso Award that is being provided to outstanding students that scored higher points in the 8th grade national examination. Mr. Girmay said that the award, beyond recognition of the outstanding student, will have significant contribution in motivating other students to follow their example. Mr. Habtaski Kidane, head of the Ministry of Education branch in the region, on his part, congratulating the awardees for their outstanding achievement, called for increased effort for achieving better results in their academic performances. On your last local news, the Forestry and Wildlife Authority in San'af subzone reported that effort will be exerted to preserve indigenous trees as well as to ensure the safety of the newly planted tree seedlings. Mr. Johannes Zakarias, head of the authorities branch in the subzone, said that as part of the effort to redress the environment, 2.3 million tree seedlings have been planted in the past 10 years, and only 40% of them are in good condition. Mr. Johannes also called on the public to conduct regular follow-up on the condition of the planted tree seedlings with a view to ensure their sustainability. Mr. Johannes also commended the administrative areas of Maigodif, Mezba, Zugfet and Ad-Dabagir for conducting sustainable follow-up on the condition of the planted tree seedlings and called on the other administrative areas to follow the good example. Pointing out that 230,000 tree seedlings are ready to be planted this year, Mr. Johannes called on the public and concerned institutions to strengthen participation in the greening campaign. That was domestic news, dear viewers. Do stay with us for the international one after the short break. Welcome back. On your global news, UK's Prime Minister Boris Johnson has announced his resignation, having lost the support of top cabinet ministers. According to Al Jazeera's reporter from London, there is no timetable for the Prime Minister's departure. Reports claim it will be announced next week, but we know from this morning that Boris Johnson is rather keen to stay on as a caretaker until autumn, when a new leader from the Conservative Party should be in place in time for the annual Conservative Party conference. The 58-year-old Conservative became Prime Minister in 2019, but has suffered a series of scandals. He also has been heavily criticized for breaking lockdown rules during the coronavirus pandemic. It is to be remembered that on Tuesday, UK's Chancellor and the Health Minister quit, citing the government's lack of integrity and competence, which set off a series of resignations, with several other top ministers either quitting or calling on Johnson to resign. On today's last news, Shinzo Abe, Japan's longest-serving prime minister, has died after being shot in the city of Nara while campaigning for a parliamentarian election. Police say they arrested a 41-year-old man who allegedly shot Abe with a handmade gun. According to the police in Japan's Nara region, the suspected killer of Japan's foreign Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has admitted targeting him and said he held a grudge against an organization he believed the politician was connected to. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida said he had no words after the fatal shooting, which he described as a barbaric act. The attack has stunned Japan, while world leaders reacted to Abe's death with shock and sadness. Dear viewers, you're still watching ERi-TV, and now recap of today's major headlines. Material support provided to intellectually and developmentally disabled children in Agorda subzone. Awards handed to outstanding students in the southern region. UK Prime Minister resigns after losing party support. And Japan's former Prime Minister shot during campaign event. Dear viewers, that was it for today. Thanks for watching.